Hey, this is Philip Sayce, and you are watching the 5150 Show with Brad and Andrew. All right.
One more time. One more time.
Hey, this is Philip Sayce, and you are watching the 5150 Show with Brad and Andrew. All right.
All right.
All right. How cool is that? That's so cool. So cool. Awesome.
Oh man. Good to see you, bro. It's been a while.
Or 4 hours, something like that. Wow. Yes.
Well, it's actually been, when you consider the communicating that we've been doing over the last 3 or 4 days. Yeah. We've been in each other's pockets, bro.
I'll tell you what. You know what? It was all worth it, Andrew. It was all worth it.
Good to see you. Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you too.
And I've got to say, look, before folks, we start getting serious on the channel. Thank you, Brad, for organising this. I know if people aren't aware of this, if you're watching on a replay, Brad has been driving us to has been the main motivator for getting Philip onto our channel for a while. And as you would appreciate, he's a gigging musician, and plus Brad doing his stuff. So just trying to get all that organised takes time. We were always hopeful, but Brad, you pulled it through. You pulled it off, bro.
Yeah, look, I think it was always going to happen, Andrew. It was just a matter of when. And I think the timing was perfect because we had an album to talk about, which was fantastic, it was really good to get him on. It was really good, and I hope that you've given me props for getting him on, Andrew, but I'll give you props for creating a community that encourages musicians at Philip's caliber to come on and feel safe. So, Andrew, it's a credit to you just as much, my friend. And the 5150 Show, you drive, you push very hard, and all credit to you. I know it's a group collaborative effort, but this is a pretty big driving force of this channel is you, Andrew. So well done.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. And obviously, we want to do a shout out to the Rock Professor who can't join us this weekend. He's catching up with people that he went to university with, folks. So he's doing what the Rock Professor does when the Rock Professor catches up with people when, so we don't know, but we got a bit of an idea of what he might be doing.
Andrew, I think you've got a picture or two of what he gets up to, though, don't you?
Yeah. I think we might have to show that. We might have to go through into the archives, bro, and pull out a couple of those dodgy photos. We certainly will, but we want to do a shout out to the Rock Professor too, because big part of the channel, obviously. Brad's going to be doing a shout out to you folks in the chat soon. So,
Yeah.
We just want to give you guys a bit of an update on a bit of background on how the show went today and what we did without getting sort of caught up with too much time. But initially we had hoped to go live with Philip, but Philip preferred to have it recorded and concentrate on what we were saying with him, as opposed to what was happening in the chat. And I get that, and Brad and I fully supported that decision, bro, didn't we?
100%. And it actually worked out really well. And I think, some future shows where we do get opportunity to interview guests, I think it's a good opportunity to do it like that, Andrew, because, the focus is predominantly on what the artist is trying to portray, whether it be promoting a tour, an album, whatever it may be. And it gives them the opportunity to feel comfortable and just get into it, and open up a little bit. So it's great.
Yeah, and it worked out well. So that was the first for the channel. that we did that, and I'll let you guys know. So Brad and I, we did the interview, and on this side of the fence or the screen here, because we always go live, and so what we do is we hit the end the stream button, and that stops recording, and then we sort of talk behind the green room, going on about whatever has happened in the show, blah blah blah. And so we'd done that. I'd pressed end recording, and we got Philip to do a bumper for us, bit of a shout out, and he did a couple for us. And Brad said, "Are you sure you had that recorded?" And I said, "Oh shit, bro, no, I didn't. What a bummer." So Brad saved the channel again. He said, "I'll email him game." So Brad sends him a message, says, "Andrew cocked up. You gotta do us a favor." And he said, and he replied back saying, "Oh, that useless Andrew. All right, Brad." So he flicks Brad a message for us, and that's the message that we got that we started the show on. So Philip, if you're watching, thank you for that, and thank you for hanging out with Brad and I.
Thank you, Philip, if you are watching, and I hope everyone's had the opportunity to watch it. If you haven't, please later today after this show, go and have a watch of it. It's really good. I think Philip really was such a lovely person to have on the show, very kind, generous soul, but also just talking to him about the songs and that we're ranking today, Andrew, and hearing the insights to it. It's opened up. I listened to the album again just quickly before we come back on here, Andrew. I put it on just to, fine tune some stuff after talking to him, because I'm hearing the songs from a different light again. So it's amazing. After we talk to the musician, you go and listen to it again. And now I'm listening to those songs we talked about, Andrew, and I'm hearing them differently, in a good way. I'm talking about, it's great to have that insight from, what Philip was explaining about the songs and whatnot, and with the effects and whatever he may have been talking about. It's just opened that up. But yeah, it was a fantastic interview, and we had a lot of fun too. I think we had a lot of fun, Andrew.
Oh, for sure, and folks, we're modest here on our little channel. You guys know that we're modest, but we've got to call things as we see them. And Brad and I had the opportunity to watch it when we premiered it back together, along with a lot of our friends. Hugh and Gretch Zeppelin was there, and Mikey Mojo and Greg Robert Tunes was there, and GTV. There was a lot of people there, bro, hanging out watching it with us. So, I think we did really, really well. Philip had us stumped when he asked us about the some of the tone questions, and then when he mentioned Band of Gypsies, it was like, oh, of course, Machine Gun. And then like Hugh had guessed it, but one thing though, bro, that really interested me and amazed me with Philip when I watched it back, he was asking you about your music and relating things back to your music and what you were doing, and myself as well.
Yeah,
it wasn't always one way. He was reflecting back to what we were doing as musicians, as guitar players.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing about Philip. He'll always spin it back on and make it about everybody, not just himself. And I think that's just the kind, generous soul that he is, Andrew. I think he likes to share the love, not take it all himself. So, yeah.
Yeah, what's our band? We can say that you and I are in a band with Philip, bro. We've never played together, but we're in a band.
What did you call us? The Commonwealth? What was it? The
is it the Brotherhood of the Commonwealth?
Yeah, something like
that. And if folks don't understand what we mean by that, so I'm a Kiwi, New Zealander, Brad's an Aussie, an Australian, and Philip's a Canadian. Yeah. So we're part of the British, what used to be called the British Empire, which is now called the British Commonwealth. Yeah. So that's where that comes from. So a unique collection of independent states in a and yeah, I wear that as a badge of honor, bro.
Oh yeah, same here, Andrew. Andrew, just bear with us 1 second. I've just spilt my cup of water everywhere here,
Have
mate.
you? Oh, you
Yes,
bloody! You better go and clean. Do
just
you
get a
want me to
towel.
drop you?
That's all right. 2 minutes. Get a towel.
Well, you get a towel, bro, while I talk to the fine folks in the chat. Look, we've got Hugh Caldwell. Folks, Hugh is going to be jumping on with us next week, this time next week, with the Rock Professor. He's going to be back from his jaunt, whatever the Rock Professor gets up to when he's away from the channel. We've got a fair idea of what he gets up to. But Hugh is going to be our guest host, and we're going to be doing a Robert Cray album. It's his fourth one, and it's not strong. Oh, Hugh, what's the album? And because I'm going to do a show card after this. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's his fourth or fifth album, one that came out in 1988. Oh, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
I think so.
Something like that.
I'm listening.
Oh. I think so, bro. Something like that.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of it. Yeah, we got it right. What one thing, bro, before we get into the rankings, look, I see you've got your Stratocaster there.
Yeah.
I've been playing my Stratocaster for the last hour. You just couldn't help but not grab your Stratocaster after having Philip on. But gosh, we love guitars on this channel, don't we? But jeepers, Strat, bro.
I know, and you know what? Listening to this album all week, I've been listening to it since it came out, but very intently this week because we are ranking the tracks. And as you know, Andrew, it's like our homework. We listen to it pretty much daily and making notes. And I've been really listening to everything that's going on in every part of the song. So I've been, I guess, stripping the song apart and analyzing all the guitar parts and everything like that, and all the music, all the drums, the bass, and the vocals. And mate, if I needed some inspiration, well, that was it. I'm so inspired now to get some new music out, and it's just very inspirational stuff to have someone like Philip doing, stuff and the material that we love so much in his own way and creating and forging his own career path out of his sound. But what I'm getting at is that I'm so inspired now, Andrew, like you were. You said you grabbed your Strat and started playing. Yeah, I'm just so inspired, and it's great when a musician will kick you. It's like he said about his dad saying, "Come on, get your shit together. The wolves are coming."
Yeah,
it's kind of the wolves are coming. It's kind of snapped me into gear a bit too. I've got to get some new stuff happening. I've got to get cracking. Yeah, come on, the wolves are coming. Hurry up. So yeah.
And look, folks, Brad and I, along with a lot of us in the chat too, I'm sure we can speak from experience. It's not called Guitar Greed, but we've got Strats and we've got Les Pauls, and you've got to have, if you want your bases covered, bro, you got to have one of each, and then you're fine.
I think so. Look, we discussed like recording with different guitars and blending them and stuff like that. Look, in other words, the way I see it doesn't matter what guitar you've got. You can create magic, but it's nice to have variations of tones. And, I love Les Pauls. I love Stratocasters. I love all guitars, but predominantly those two types of guitars. And when I record, I use both, and I love blending them. It's such a wonderful thing to have the opportunity to be able to just go, I'm going to put a Les Paul on this because it needs that sound, that tone, and then it needs a Strat vibe here on the neck pickup. That's what I love. And one of my favorite tones is that neck pickup on a Strat. So, it's one of those things, mate. Even on my Les Paul, I've got a push-pull pot to split the coils to get that Strat tone on the neck pickup. It's just what I love. You know what I mean? So it's always there.
You know what, bro? I'm going to share something with you. there's no silver skies in the rock shop here in Hamilton, but there's 3 up in Auckland. So I'm thinking of a reason why I need to drive up to Auckland to try silver sky.
Yeah. Look,
I don't want to, bro. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying desperately not to find a good reason to go up there because you know, I don't want to max anything out.
well, I'll tell you what, if Philip didn't sell it with his, the way he was talking about the VRSs, I don't know what will, because he definitely got me intrigued as well.
Oh, well, they're not a cheap guitar for a starter. You know, now, folks, we're talking about the ones that John and Philip playing. You know, there's a couple of other cheaper models, Brad, you know, which are available. But the full Dankum,
Yeah.
you know, she's about, well, I'm not going to say. But,
Yeah. Look,
yeah.
I think, the price of guitars it keeps increasing, as per does everything in this world, unfortunately. But they're priced in accordance with what you get. I think that's But I will say this though, that some pricing on custom shop style guitars and everything that go ridiculously priced, I think that's a little bit of a buzzkill for me, because I think it's taking the shine off the fact that you go buy a guitar to enjoy it, not to preserve it in I don't know, a display cabinet. You know what I mean? I don't know. Look,
Oh yeah, mate. I'm a player. I'll
yeah,
always be playing it. You know, that's where I come from. I'm never going to do anything like that. And you know, there's a couple of keepers you're always going to keep, bro. Obviously, but you know, there's always going to be ones that you're going to flick along. Just quickly before we start the show, what did you think? And it's been all over social media, and you and I haven't had a chance to talk about it. But Jimmy Page and his
yes.
new collaboration with Gibson, bro.
Look, I think it's wonderful. I just,
Gosh, I want that too.
I'm not sure how much that thing's going to cost you though.
50K US, bro.
Look, that's for money. That's for people with excessive money. Really, that's never going to be able to be affordable for the Joe Blow
I'll wait for
guitar.
the Epiphone version.
Even that's going to be expensive, bro. Even that'll be expensive. Yeah. Look, I think to myself, I would love to buy some new guitars and whatnot, but they're just getting quite pricey. But 50K, that's something else, Andrew.
I know, bro.
That's
Yeah.
that's something else. Anyway,
I,
if you
I
can
think what
afford,
they're going to do is I think they're going to follow the Greenie model. You know how they brought out the 50K Greenie, and then they brought out the 25, and then the 10, and then the standard, and then the Epiphone. I wouldn't be surprised, bro, if they're going to follow that same model with Page's SG twin neck SG. Wouldn't be surprised.
but you know what's really cool? The little video they've done. That's cool.
Oh.
It gets you all revved up to go buy one.
Oh.
If you had the excess cash, you'd just like throw your wallet at the counter and go, just take it.
And we
You know,
love Jimmy Page. Oh.
yeah. So it's a pity that it's so expensive, but anyway, that we can only dream, Andrew. One day, we can afford to buy it, and just the thing is, though, if I bought one of those, I'd want to play the damn thing. I wouldn't want to put it in a cabinet. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money to go play on stage, though. You know what I mean? I don't look.
Mate, get the Epiphone one.
Yeah, look,
Get the Epiphone one, and you'll be fine.
They're a lot of money for what that for a stage tool, if that makes sense.
Because the Epiphone one, I reckon, will come out with like with the Greenie, the Epiphone Green. It'll come out with the Gibson Hibstock.
Yes.
And you're right. That won't be cheap. That'll but that still would be cheaper than a Gibson.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll wait and see, Andrew.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. I've got a lotto ticket. I've got a lotto ticket sitting in my wallet that I haven't checked yet, mate.
You could be sitting on that double neck SG, bro.
I could be buying one just to use on stage for no reason, just because I can afford to.
But yeah, well, look, folks, if you're watching on a replay, let us know what you think about these new guitars that are coming out. We're fans of Jimmy Page here, and the fact that he's collaborating with Gibson to get this out, to create a market for not only this guitar but the music of Led Zeppelin with again another younger, new, fresh audience is always something good. What we try to do here on this channel as well, bro, we're all part and parcel of that pot, aren't we?
Yes, 100%, 100%. Well, you know what? Where we should, we live in a world where everything's so increasing, or everything's increasing in value so much at the moment. So, I'm grateful that they're doing this, Gibson are doing it, and it's available. We'll see, Andrew. One day you could see me on stage playing a double neck SG that's $50K US. Who knows? You don't know.
Awesome. There's a comment here from our brother Hugh saying he just bought the best value guitar ever made, and he's going to show us next week on the channel. We can't wait. Can't wait to see what that is, because again, folks, if you haven't subscribed to Hugh's channel, please go and subscribe to our brother and check out what he does over there. The collaborations that he does with people, it's fantastic. Do you want to do a shout out, bro?
Yeah, I'll do a quick shout out. We've got Hugh Caldwell. Obviously, he's coming on the show next week, so good to see you, bro. We've got Gretsch Zeppelin. We have Ellen Toll, my mother. She unfortunately was trying for a long time to get on to watch the Philip show, but it was all changed last minute, so I apologize about that, Mum. Gretsch Zeppelin. I said hello to Gretsch Zeppelin. We've got Greg Roberts Tune. Good to see you in the chat there, Greg. We have got we've got a few people here. There's a few people watching. Throw some comments up, guys. We'll say hello to you, and but it's good to see you 3 or 4 in the chats already. And hope you've done your homework so you can give us your rankings for this track, for this album. It's going to be good.
Yeah, excellent. If you're watching on a replay, please subscribe to our channel. I want you please also to subscribe to Brad's. I've attached Brad's social media link on the video that we did with Philip. So if you're watching that and you want to see where Brad is, otherwise you can catch him, easy peasy Japanese, at Brad Cook Music on Instagram, and you can find his YouTube channel on there if that's easy for you. Yeah. But if you key in at Brad Cook Music on YouTube, it'll take you to his channel too. So that's really, really easy. The handles have just made it so much easier to find people. And of course, our friend, the Rock Professor, Simon Williams 33. Go and check him out and say hi. We do appreciate your support.
Who we do sorely miss this week. We miss you, Simon, Rock Professor. Yeah.
Yes, brother. So this is your pick, bro. So do you want to kick the channel, the show off?
Yeah. Well, look, just following on from our wonderful show this morning where we interviewed Philip Sayce. The album was recorded, obviously, during the tail parts of the pandemic, and from what we understand, it was recorded at Station House Studios for the most part, with Mark Rains at the Rains. It was produced by Philip Sayce, and it's released on his own label, Atomic Gemini. And mate, I can't say enough great things about this album. I think if you actually go through and watch the interview I just said, I think he's raised the bar every album he's done, and this one's going to be hard to follow now, Andrew. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but yeah, I'm sure you probably feel the same way, Andrew.
Yeah, bro. I think you've hit the nail on the head. If you are watching on a replay, I'll attach our playlist. I've set up a separate playlist on the channel now for Philip, because Brad and I and the Rock Professor have done a few videos now on Philip, and just goes to show how important Philip is, not just for me or Brad as musicians and guitar players, but I think as in this whole music genre that we're listening to, he's a major player, bro. So and we realised and knew that a long time ago, didn't we?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, in the introduction that I did for Philip today, Andrew, I mentioned that undoubtedly I think he's going to be a legend in the making. You know what I mean? So he is a legend already, but in future generations to come, people will still be pointing out Philip Sayce as we do. Albert Collins, Gary Moore, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like, he'll be there. People will still talk about him in generations to come because he's made such an impact, and his music is timeless. So we all listen to the greats still, Andrew, from the 60s, late 60s, and even earlier, but this, we still listen to them as an influence. And yeah, it's just great that we've been able to connect with Philip and bring him on our channel when we do look at him as a legend in the making, Andrew.
Well, yeah, and we said that too. Look, Philip,
Yeah.
we're fans too.
Yeah.
That,
We're super fans. I mean, look,
yeah, definitely super fans. But I'll again, I'll just tag on to what Brad said, folks. There's a lot of hot guitar players out there, and there's a lot of legends still out there playing. But I'm going to say Philip Sayce and Derek Trucks, in my opinion, will be the two greatest younger, living guitar players that are influencing so many people. Trucks with his slide, and Philip with his music. You can't go wrong.
That's right. That's right. I mean, look, the album was released at the end of February, 23rd of February. And already we're into March. It's not even really a month it's been out, and it's created such a buzz. So it's fantastic for Philip. I'm really happy for him, actually, that the album's doing so well. So we should probably get into the rankings, Andrew. I don't know if you're ready for this, but we haven't actually discussed who's going to go first. Andrew, did you want me to go first?
Oh yeah. I think you should, bro, because yeah, it's your pick. You picked it, so the guy that picks it, he got to break the ice. I got the easy job. I just got to give the rankings.
You're going to round up. Okay, cool. All right. So look, I guess the album starts off with a absolute banging track, as my son would say. He loves it as well. The song's called "Oh That Bitch's Brew," and mate, what a tough and nasty riff. It's heavy blues. It's heavy blues riff. It's not anything but. It's phenomenal. The bass and drums are tough as nails. It's explosive. The song's explosive. It's big. There's big tones coming right at you through the two speakers. The guitar and the vocal melody together in the verses is a real hook for me. I love it when guitar players do that. And it's got a great vocal melody throughout the song and very catchy. The chorus is massive. I love the vocals. Philip truly is an amazing singer, equally to his guitar playing, in my opinion, Andrew. He's got a great voice, and the way he sings on this album is just phenomenal. The solo is stinging. I'm hearing an Octavia pedal in there. I think we discussed in the interview these blending an SG. He's got a P90, a single P90 pickup SG that he calls Little Devil. And it's a nasty little thing, that guitar. It sounds phenomenal. And I think he's combining it with his Strat. Then we have that middle section of the song. It's very reminiscent of that freak out section of Whole Lot of Love to me, Andrew. I'm hearing Zeppelin. I'm hearing Jimi Hendrix in this song. I'm hearing Cream. I'm hearing hints of Black Sabbath even. And then you got more modern influences like Rival Sons and Lenny Kravitz. I think it's an explosive first track. It's massive. It's what a way to start a post-pandemic album, and really hitting you right in the rib cage with the first track. I'm going to give this one a definite 100 out of 10, Andrew. It's a absolute cracking track and a phenomenal opening track to an album, Andrew.
Yeah, look, I gotta agree with you, bro. It's a landscape of a song, from Philip's perspective, and Brad's told you why, folks, because he's got all these different influences, and that's, I think it's going to be a theme that Brad and I are going to talk about, and we've mentioned before, and it's a positive thing because it's that wall of sound that reinforces that pushes Philip as a guitar player and a musician forward, and he can't escape that. So this kind of stuff is coming out of him. It's just natural to him, and presenting it to us in a different way. I love the way that his intro, he's got the guitar following the melody line of his vocals. It's very, very clever. Very Philip too. There's a lot of tracks on here where Philip does that. So a lot of guitar players aren't doing that these days. You know, they'll be having just the vocals and the guitar playing some chords or something like that and a bit of lead. But Philip likes following his his lead patterns, notes to follow his vocals, which is a defining thing I think about Philip going forward, and certainly some a feature on some of his other albums too. Go and check it out, folks. Full tilt solo. There's no denying that. And also backed up by some incredible drums. Philip realizes and knows and understands that, and he's never skimping on his drum sound, folks. So buckle up and get ready for some more great drumming and rhythm sections offerings on this album, because he appreciates that and knows where that where that comes from and the essence and why that's important. Bro, I've given this a 10 out of 10. It's never a skip. And, I'm going to steal from the Rock Professor. He loves talking about manifestos. We're still waiting to read his manifesto, Maybe when he retires, he can give us his manifesto. Maybe that can be the goal of his retirement. But
I think so.
but as a manifesto for this album, you're not going to be shocked, folks, if you've listened to this track and you've got it under your belts. 10 out of 10, never a skip, Brad.
Yeah, look, I think we're on the same path. I think we are going to be repeating ourselves a little bit, guys, with this album. I think because there's a lot of we're going to be saying very similar things, I think, but strap yourself in because there's still some great stuff coming up. The next track on the album is called Lady Love Divine. And, this second track drips, groove, funk, soul, wrapped up in a nice little blues rock parcel, in my opinion. It's got
You nailed it, bro.
It's got funky drumming. It's funky guitar playing. I'm hearing some Stevie Ray Vaughan vibes there on the rhythm sort of styling of guitar wise, and vocally. Wonderful melody in this song, very catchy and a real obvious choice for a single, Andrew. The chorus is very catchy. You're singing it for days in your head. I've been singing this one like even while I'm going to sleep because we've been ranking the tracks. I've been studying this album all week. So I'm singing this one in my sleep, Philip, if you're watching, and thank you for that. I'm having a wonderful night's sleep. It's so catchy. The second verse, the drumming sort of opens up, and it just the song. It's fantastic. It's a lovely guitar effect going on. The bass and drumming here is phenomenal. The solo is perfect for the song. The phrasing is so unique and colorful. His songwriting ability on the album is a perfect example, of him excelling himself every time. And I know he wrote this song with Richard Marx, and I think this song was written a little bit earlier than some of the other ones from just having a chat to him on Together platform. But yeah, I think he just keeps exceeding himself as a songwriter, and this song's written so well. I love the song. I love the chromatic runs towards the end of the song. It's uniquely Philip Sayce, even though I'm saying it sounds like this, sounds like that. It's uniquely Philip Sayce. It's a 10 out of 10, Andrew. It's a cracking, catchy song. Andrew.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, bro, and thank you for again providing those lovely little details in between the spaces with your research. I'm just going to go and just offer you my bullet points, folks, on this, and leave the meat for Brad to give to you. I'm just going to chew a little bit on the bone.
There's plenty of meat to chew on.
Um, yeah. Look, I'm glad you mentioned funk, because that's what I've got written down here, funk. Now, when I first heard this album, I was. Now, there are some surprises, ladies and gentlemen, on this album, trust me. And when I heard this, I was like, wow, second track in, this guy's throwing everything out there. And again, I'm not surprised by that, because, that funk and that Stratocaster sound and that Stratocaster tone, that's a funky thing. It's been around for a long, long time, bro. We had it with Chic, with Bernard, playing the Strat. Your mate from the Red Hot Chili Peppers playing the Strat for, so it's not. It's not completely strange, but all credit to Philip to throw that in. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait for him to do more of this later on.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the groove and he can back it up. And I'm going to say one reason why. If you haven't seen Philip live, there's a lot of clips, complete gigs online, and go and watch him. And the guy's got the moves, so the guy is moving. So he's got the funk. He's, when he's playing, he's moving, bro. So,
he's a one with it. Yep.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. So, nice to see that, and also to hear that come through in his music, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you hear a song, bro, and it's like, yeah, this is who this guy is. So that's immediately what came to my mind when I heard this. I'm like, I could see the guy standing up in the studio, just going with this. And again, you've mentioned it. He sings beautifully. Just a great track for his vocals. Matured. His vocals on this track so much. You can hear he's gotten better from the last album. Each album he does, bro, as you've pointed out, he just gets better and better and better as a musician. Bro, I've given this 9 out of 10. It's never a skip. And, the thing that we love talking about, contrasts, and that contrast is a really, really good thing. We're going to get a few more, folks, but this is the first contrast on this album, and it's like, whoa.
Yes, well, you said it perfectly there, Andrew. There's a lot of contrast on this album. From the first track to this one, even first 2 tracks is a big contrast, and it's a good contrast. It's fantastic. So you gave it 9, was it? 9 out of 10?
9 out of 10, bro.
Beautiful. So the next track is Babylon is Burning. And wow, this has got a lot of that Hendrixy vibe happening there. The verse is dynamic. The way he sings and plays through it all on guitar, I love how he does that. Catchy vocal melody through the chorus, the solo. Wow, I mean, we're hearing that sweet sounding wah-wah pedal he's got. I'm not sure which one, mate, but that's one beautiful chewy sounding wah pedal right there. I love the guitars throughout this record. This is a fantastic track example of guitar tone and his unique sound. The post solo, like the last solo, it's like a wall of sound and it's massive. There's a lot going on in this song, mate. I can't say much more than that. It's a great third track for the album, bro. And I gave it 9.5 out of 10. Never a skip, Andrew. I couldn't quite give it a 10. It's just hard to rank everything 10. You know what I mean? So,
this is where going second or third's always like it's like it's a good thing sometimes, and it's like so. Brad mentioned Hendrix. I got Hendrix written down here too. So, wow, that intro is in the Hendrix playbook, and it's just fantastic. And again, folks, we got to remind you when we're saying this, and it's going to get to a stage where we're going to probably have to find a definition to define this type of music, because Philip is this music today.
Yes.
Philip isn't Jimi Hendrix today. Philip is this music today, and that's one of the reasons why we love it.
Yeah. Well, it's that psychedelic blues rock vibe that he's got going on. It's he's flying the flag for it, Andrew. He's flying the flag, but there's a lot of people that are carrying that baton from the masters, and Philip's one of them.
Oh yeah, definitely a master at it, and that solo just rips your face off. I just think it's fantastic. Love the song. Go and check out the lyrics too. There's a couple of songs on here that's well worth reading the lyrics. Go and check it out. We're not going to interpret lyrics for you, but where I think lyrics are really important, I'm going to point it out. I've given this 10 out of 10, bro. I just love this track. It's a killer track.
Yeah. Look, I think it's important to mention the lyrics like you did. I think lyrically for an artist to write, a song, there usually is something in it, whether it be something they've read, something that is close to them, something that might have aligns with them, whatever it may be. But the lyrical content on this record is fantastic as well, mate. 100%. I'll back you up there.
Cheers, bro.
So where are we up to? Your love, Andrew. That's you know how much we love a good wah-wah pedal riff on this channel. And this is a fantastic groove. Immediately you're hooked with that guitar line. The chorus line is extremely catchy. The verses have, that real Hendrix vibe feel going on. I love the keyboard overdubs in there. Really fills out that sound. The solo here, I'm stinging, Andrew. I know, Philip cut his teeth with Jeff Healey, and I'm hearing that influence there. I'm hearing that Jeff Healey thing. I'm hearing, the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing, and a lovely Leslie effect on the guitar, which we spoke about in the interview too. So if you want to know more about that, go and check out the interview after this show, guys. But the solo is phenomenal. It sounds great. I need to bring up again how great Philip's vocals are, and I'm repeating myself a bit, but it sounds fantastic on this song. There's a real raunchiness about this song. Again, it's got that Philip Sayce vibe, and that's what I'm going to say from now on, the vibe. You know what I mean? I gave it a 9 out of 10, Andrew, and never a skip.
Yeah, look, I have to back you up there, bro. And I think where we can interject in our rankings, we're going to link you back to the video and the interview that we did with Philip. So go and check it out. Towards the end there, Philip tells us a story how he just became this wah-wah pedal hound. Everywhere that he went, he was going to vintage music stores and just buying wah-wah pedals. And he had 20 at one stage, 20 vintage Vox wah-wahs. And realized, that... Yeah. So, and that wouldn't have been a cheap exercise to have, because they've never been cheap, those wahs, bro.
And they're getting more and more increasing in value every day, unfortunately. But yeah. But we love a good wah. We love a good wah, and we love a good wah story too. Wah.
Well, we love the wah, exactly, and so that wah is a bit better than my EVH wah. My EVH wah is just a wah, but this one's a wah. So, look, that's enough.
It's got more wah than the wah.
Well, you got it. Great lyrics too, folks. Go and check out the lyrics again on this track. And again, I have to tell you his vocals, but more importantly, the way that Philip has tracked his harmonies, his vocal harmonies to back his lead harmony, his lead vocal on this is very, very clever. He's, clearly knows his voice and knows where to put his those backup vocals in to get that. Just to give it a little bit of that edge. He doesn't do it all the time, but certainly this is the track that I noticed that he's doing that on, Brad. And again, another fantastic solo. You've just said it, the Philip Sayce thing.
Yeah,
can't go wrong. I've given this 9 out of 10 too, bro.
Wow. So we're online. Look, it's a wonderful song. So the next track on the album is called "It's Over Now," and for me, I mean, straight away I felt connected to this song for some reason, and I guess it's a retrospective sort of sound lyrically. Maybe about healing or getting over something, a challenging thing, or whatever it may have been at the time lyrically. For me, I love this song. It's got that very Beatles style intro here. I think every time I listen to this song, Andrew, this week, it's grown on me more and more and more. It's becoming one of my favorites on the album, if not my favorite. I love the guitar playing, very Stevie Ray, Jimi Hendrix rhythm stylings. Got a beautiful effect on the guitar with that cleaner tone. I think we spoke about this one, Andrew, in our interview as well. So again, I'll direct people to go and watch that as opposed to me talking about it here. But that cleaner tone, how he managed to get that in a solo is phenomenal. And wonderful vocals. The sound of his voice in that chorus, man, it's heartfelt. He's pouring himself into this song. And while we're on the chorus, that it's such a catchy melody. Like you go away singing this one straight away. It's, I'm going to go as far as this song I could hear Lenny Kravitz doing, Andrew. You know what I mean? I could hear Lenny Kravitz performing this song. It's got that vibe about it. And it's a great change of pace from the previous tracks as well. And we love that contrast and we believe in that as a good album flow. It's nice to have a bit of contrast there. The Rock Professor brings it up a lot. If it was all one thing all the way through, you'd start to get fatigue, I think, where this way you're getting that contrast, which is phenomenal. The song is reflective, obviously, of a challenging time. And I love when songs do that because it makes you think a lot about your own situation or things in life as well. So delicate and beautiful. To any up-and-coming players out there, this is an immaculate guitar solo. If you want to go there and try and learn this one, this is the one you got to go learn from the record, I think. I love the tone, the sound. I'm hearing, SRV through the solo, yet I'm hearing Philip Sayce being Philip Sayce. The outro section, some of the beautiful guitar playing through that, but even more so his vocals through that outro as well. So powerful, Andrew. This one's without a doubt a 10 out of 10 and never a skip for me, Andrew.
Thank you, bro, for your insight there. And thank you, Alan, as ever, for your rankings. And Hugh, you're jumping in there, obviously, bro, to throwing in some of your scores. And Ryan Hall, our brother, has jumped in. Good to see you, bro. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for watching the interview, too, when we premiered it on the channel. Always a pleasure catching up with you, brother. Thank you for the support that you give us. It's always fantastic. Bro, it's over now. You've nailed it on the head. Contrast again. I've highlighted that as my first bullet point. It's a beautiful ballad. Hugh has said that. It's a beautiful song. That guitar tone on this track is delicate and sublime. It's not pushed or edgy like the previous tracks. It's that wonderful strat tone that you get, without the pedals, for example, or the overdrive coming in, and we love that. We love that because that's an essential part of, if you're playing this type of music, you got to be able to do that. And again, Philip gave us a hint on how he did that, you know, and watching Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan and how they did that, just that volume, right in that volume. So I'm not saying that that's specifically what he did on this, but you know, it's, you know, all this information is just like, whoa. I love it, Brad. I've given this a Brad score, bro. I just think this track, when I first heard it, it just piqued me to a point where I'm listening to the tracks leading up to this track, and it's like when you hear this track, you know how you like, you know, there's a third track or the fourth track on an album, and you know, I want to get to it, but I'm not going to skip to get to it, and then because you know when you've got to it, it's like, oh.
Yes. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. You know, you can't bite it straight away, can you?
No, you can't bite it. But I tell you, it is rapidly becoming my favorite on the record. This song. It's over
Smart musician, smart songwriter, great track, bro.
Yeah, killer track. I love to hear Philip performing this one live, actually, because you know, as we discussed in the interview, like his Scorched Earth Volume 1 live CD, like that, it's phenomenal, and the footage that is floating around on YouTube of his gigs of him playing, you know, he puts the Philip Sayce stamp on everything live as well, and they change around a little bit. There's energy, there's vibe, there's something magic going on there. It's phenomenal. But we might do one more song, Andrew. I think you said you've got a couple of photos you want to show. So should we do one more song and then you show some photos there, Andrew?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah. We'll break it up.
We might do that, just like a halfway point. So the next song, you know, Black Moon, it's called, and from my understanding, this song, you know, when you listen to the lyrics, which are great lyrics, there's, I guess, you know, it's about, yeah, I think it's a little go at people that, you know, in the music industry and things like that. So it's definitely got a message here. This song sounds like something that could have possibly been off Spirit Rising album to me, Andrew. You know, quite possibly it might have been written around the same time, maybe, or thereabouts, or just after. But to me, yeah, this song would have fit perfectly on Spirit Rising just as much as, you know, it does on this record. It's a very obvious choice for a single as well, Andrew. It's very catchy, has a great groove thing going on, catchy. The chorus, great guitar solo. I love that Leslie style effect on the solo. I love the way the solo ends. It's very classy. You know, if you go and listen to the last phrasing that he does on the solo, wow, it's all class. You know what I mean? Philip's vocal delivery has a sense of being laid back in the verses and pushes power through the choruses, and it has a big sound. The whole song has a really big sound. I gave this 9 out of 10, Andrew, and never a skip.
Yeah. One of the singles, wasn't it? This is one of the singles. Yep. And interesting choice for a single in the context of this album, bro. So I'm not going to say more than that now. Maybe later on at the conclusion we can talk about that. But an interesting choice for the single when you can take this album in its context. Classic Philip Sayce number, though. There's no denying that. And the fact that you said that it could have been on his previous album's not surprising. So I get why they've picked this. So again, Brad, man, you've nailed it on the head. The reason why they've picked it, because it's identifiable, if you like.
Yeah.
Let us know, Phil, if we're on the right track here with it or not. Love the production on this, though. This is a really good number, and the reason why I love the production on this, bro, is because when I was listening to it on my headphones, you can hear the vocals clearly, but also you can hear the guitars as well, you know. So And sometimes, when you do that, it's like a wall of sound. And sometimes when they get the production right, you can hear the vocals. And I like that when I can hear the vocals on a frequency backed up by the guitar. So again, goes back to Philip and his production techniques. Go and
Yes.
watch our interview with him, because he tells you how he did it, the reason why he did it, and he learnt off people. And he named the people that he learnt off. So again, humble guy. Didn't say, I just went in there and did it myself and,
No.
I'm cracked. But I just cracked it, bro.
No, he's very open about, how he got, to producing and doing it so well, So that's fantastic.
If you and I had ranked this when it came out, I would have given this a Brad score. When it came out. But in the context of this album, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. Never a skip.
Yeah.
But we'll talk a little bit more, maybe at our conclusion.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Thank you, bro.
Well, Andrew, good scores so far, guys. Everyone in the chat's been giving their we're seeing all the rankings come through, so thank you for that. Andrew's going to show some photos now, I believe, and I'm not sure if you've got any there of what the Rock Professor's up to at the moment or not, but
well, this is from the Rock Professor. He's
he just texts that through to you, did
he? Yeah. So when the Rock Professor goes away on holiday or for a night away or a weekend away, and you send him a message saying how's it going, he always replies back with this photo for some reason.
And he seems to leave the hookers part out of it, but he always sends that one through,
So we wish the Rock Professor well. So look, folks, here's a couple of pics here.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of that comment, Ryan, so we can just have a look at this. Oh, where am I? Go over here. Get rid of these comments. So there's Philip.
Great photo.
Yeah. And there he is there with his new PRS guitar. Again, he told Brad and I why he went with PRS, so we ask you and urge you please to go and check that out. And while you're there, check out his new look. He's looking hot.
Yeah, he's looking very, very sharp. Let's say that. Looking very
You
sweet.
got it, bro. Yeah, really sharp.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try that Silver Sky, bro. I can't wait.
Yeah. Look, it's a beautiful looking guitar in its own right. It's I like the body shape. I like how they're the bottom horn. I like that vibe. It's got something quite unique about it. It's good.
That bottom horn's reminiscent of the Ibanez Super Straights, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, it is actually. Look, it's got its own thing, and I want to go with the as Philip was talking about. It's its own animal. I want to go with that. I don't want to be, it's I don't want to be talking about it as if it's not obviously a replacement for his vintage Strats or anything like that. It's got its own thing, and you can see there.
No, he made that point clear to you too. He made that point clear.
Yeah,
that it's not a replacement.
So he's got his mother and Big Daddy there on the left, and
Big Daddy.
Yeah, I love that guitar. It's beautiful. But yeah, equally the Silver Sky there on the right, leaned up against the Marshall. It's very rock and roll. Very rock and roll, Andrew.
And there's our show card, folks.
Yes.
Go and check it out.
Yes. Check it out. Well, that's out.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you. So we'll get back into the rankings, Andrew. The next track is called Blackbirds Fly Alone, and the lyrics in this are fantastic, but the song sounds like a love child of the Beatles and Lenny Kravitz, if you want to put it that way. It's got a beautiful, delicate vocal. The pre-chorus is amazing with that backward guitar part. I'm hearing that. Sounds like something, from outer space. It's wonderful, Andrew. And I'm going to say here, I'm hearing Stone Temple Pilots. in this song, the way he's singing, the phrasing, I don't know if he's influenced that heavily by Stone Temple Pilots, but I'm hearing it there. Rival Sons, I'm hearing that. I'm hearing Lenny Kravitz, I'm hearing Led Zeppelin. It's all in there. This is a fantastic song, Andrew, and I love the lyrics. Great hippie vibe to the song. The slide guitar overdubs are fantastic. The guitar in the pre-chorus is that backward guitar. It gives me goosebumps. The solo sounds like it could be in a big room, like the amps in a big room. Massive, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Hendrix vibes going on there. And to use his influences in a positive way, we keep bringing them up, but he uses these influences in a positive way because Philip brings them together and makes them his own. I think that's very important to mention. I know we spoke about it before, but these influences, and the only way I can describe this stuff is like the way I am, but he's got his own distinctive sound, and they're there. He's flying the flag. He's, like I said before, this is one of those tracks, the more you hear it, the more you love it. The outro playing is phenomenal. The guitar playing over the outro is phenomenal. The sounds, the tone, the pedal, everything is going on there. Look, I'm giving this 100 out of 10, Andrew, and never a skip. I love it. Absolutely love the song.
I'm only gonna. I can't. I can't add more to what Brad has said on this track, and it's not because I'm a lazy person. Yes, I am generally. But sometimes folks. Sometimes we just like to point out one thing about a track and say, "Look, this is it. This is." And for me, this track has that solo. Go and check out the solo on this track. It's phenomenal. Everything that Brad said is correct, in my opinion. I back him up there. But I've given this a Brad score because of that guitar solo. That guitar solo is. I haven't heard anything as good this year, bro.
No, and I don't think you will, unfortunately, until the next Philip Sayce record.
Yeah, and we're serious. Being serious, folks. This is a Brad score. You need to. Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal track.
Yeah, it's got a beautiful feel to the song. What a song! Go and have a listen to it on Spotify and streaming, and later, obviously after the show. The next track, Andrew, we spoke about. The Moon is Full, and it's the irony behind us talking about the Showdown record with Albert Collins, Johnny Copeland, and Robert Cray. And he covers this, and he used to play this one with with Jeff Healey as well. But I'm going to read out just my rankings, what I wrote down. What a song, what a riff, what a feel throughout the song. This is what it's all about, Andrew. I love the guitar tracking on the song, the way he's tracked the guitars. This has got that sort of tightrope vibe to me for Stevie Ray Vaughan's Tightrope going on there with the rhythm guitar. I'm hearing Jeff Healey vibes as well. I know he played it with Jeff Healey, and that's where it is. It's in that pocket that sounds all locked in, and they're massive here. A great vocal from Philip as well. This is an absolute blues classic. The guitar solo in this is outstanding as well, Andrew. The whole song sounds like a steam train coming down the tracks that's unstoppable. It's just phenomenal. The last solo on this, I can see him tracking this with his head back and his mouth open, and he's melting that guitar pick. I don't know. There's something about this song, Andrew. Every time I put this track on, it's phenomenal. If you're ever been fortunate enough to see Philip Sayce play live in person, I'm envious because I really want to see him play live, and I would love to see him play this song live. You know, if you're listening, Philip, I would get up and jam with you on this one 100%. This is the one, bro. This is the one. I love it. It's an absolute cracking song. I'm giving this one 10 out of 10, Andrew, and never a skip.
Yeah. Again, bro, phenomenal input and observations. Really appreciate it. And I'm reading everyone else's comments here on the chat too. Hugh and Alan in particular, and our friend Ryan is saying, he'd love to check the stuff out, and but he's been part of the show. So we urge you, Ryan, when you've got some time, go and check this album out. You will not be disappointed. Brad already told you folks, we mentioned to Philip that we were only talking about this album a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And, when this album came out when I was a young fella, it was just like, holy cow. It was one of my work colleagues gave me the vinyl and said, take this home. It was a Friday night. I took it home and I listened to it and I kept it, never gave it back.
I've done that before with other albums.
It just, I can't, and again, I can't wait for us at some stage, bro, it's on the list for us to talk about. So, when I saw this track coming up, I thought, okay, it'll be interesting to see where Philip is going to take this track that, a lot of us know really well. But I have to tell you, that guitar tone on this track is incredible.
Yes.
The guitar tone, what he's done on this track, and we could have easily have kept Philip talking for 4 hours. Because I'd love to have gone, Brad, and gone through track by track with him. But we're mindful we couldn't do that. We'll get him back. Promise.
Yeah.
But I was blown away, and I've made this note here that this has put Philip Sayce into the category of a modern master. And I said it at the beginning of the show that him and Derek Trucks are modern masters of this music. I after hearing this track, bro, many times I'm convinced of it. I'm a disciple. I need to go and get a T-shirt like Brad. What Philip has done, he's just elevated a song that was fantastic. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes, there's a lot of examples, bro, where it just doesn't work, where a cover is just okay or adequate. Do you know what I mean? But
yes.
But he's made this completely just far out. It's far out.
He's made it his own too. I love the way he's done that. Like he's yeah. You go and listen to the original, and then you listen to this. And, yeah,
it's better than the original.
Well, I'm going to edge it and say it is, but they'll be fighting words with people, I'm sure. But yeah, they're very, very close. At least they're both phenomenal versions of it. I'm not knocking the other one, but I'm sort of leaning towards this one at the moment too, Andrew. It's unbelievable. The tone, I'm glad you brought up that tone thing, because I didn't think to mention that, Andrew, but the tone of the guitar is phenomenal. And it makes you want to play a Strat.
And so this is what proves to me, bro, with the track listings, the way that Philip has produced this album. Clearly he's built this up. And he has. He's built this. So this album it goes up, and then it comes down.
Yes.
And yeah, go and check this track out. It's a Brad score.
Don't you know? Like, oh, sorry. Don't you think it's funny that when we're talking to him in the interview that he said he wasn't sure about including this track on the album?
I wanted to swear. I wanted to say to him, well, we can swear here now. I was going to say, are you fucking nuts?
I'm super glad he added it. Yeah, I'm super glad he added it. And yeah, it's you know,
If you're watching on replay, have a look at Brad's face and Andrew's face. And we might give it away.
yeah, well, I was kind of like a bit shocked, to be honest with you, and I'm super grateful he put it on because wow, 100%, 100%, wow. Well, that brings us to so you gave it a 100 out of 10, Andrew.
Oh, Brad score, bro.
Well,
Oh, well, no, Hugh score. 8 million, 8 million.
I'm changing it to 8 million too. All right.
8 million out of 10.
Yes. 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 Yeah, no, it's a phenomenal song. So the next song, Backstabber, great lyrics. I mean, you can go and make your own opinion of what Backstabber is about, guys. Big Zeppelin vibes, you know, the whole song sounds like a monster coming down a forest pathway ready to take you out. It's amazing. Great vocal, very catchy melody and chorus line. I'm feeling the lyrics, Philip. You know, we can all associate these lyrics in our own experiences in some way, shape, or form. The guitar solo screams. You know, that's got that. I love how he just gets into that zone where he's just giving. And Andrew, I'm going to deviate a bit when he was talking about how he's tracking guitar solos for hours and hours on 100 takes of it. I couldn't comment because I was just letting him talk, and I didn't want to interrupt him, but make it all about me. But man, I've been there a million times tracking guitar solos, Andrew, and I've tracked 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 and I've nearly thrown my guitar through the plaster wall. Yeah, I've done all that. Yeah, and you know, when I was in a band called The Eternal, we're in the studio, and I'd be recording. I'd do the best solo take, and I'd be like, oh, sorry, we didn't press record at the start of it. I'd be like, what? And throwing my Les Paul across the room, you know, those sort of things, those moments. And then you're trying to recapture it and you do 100 takes and you can't quite get it. But this one, he nailed this one. This is, if you did 100 takes on this song, Philip, this is the best one. It's brilliant. That's all I'm going to say. It's stinging, yeah. I'm loving this song. You know, I'd love to hear more like this from Philip as well in the future. The second guitar solo really highlights Philip's phrasing, his vibrato technique, which, you know, I wanted to talk to him about his techniques and stuff today, but we ran out of time, Andrew. You know, I want to talk to him his vibrato and just, you know, techniques that he uses to actually help with his vibrato. But his vibrato ability is second to none. It's amazing. You know, he adds a ton of feel in there while he's playing and that second guitar solo. It's unbelievable. The outro, that double time feel, you know, explosive. You know, I love how he uses the wah wah. It's so thick and chewy. I'd love to hear this song live, Andrew. This would be one that would bring the, you know, the walls down 100%. I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10, Andrew, and never a skip.
Again, bro, thank you for your analysis. It's always appreciated, and that's one of the reasons why, folks, we've got Brad on the show, because he is the musician. You know, the rock professor and I, you know, we bang about, but Brad's, you know, gigging regularly, and he's recorded, so he's offering that analysis that, you know, we don't have the experience to offer. So, you know, the tracking analogy that Brad mentioned obviously is a real thing, you know, for a lot of musicians. If you go and read a lot of biographies, they'll tell you, you know, for days, some songs, you know, Tom Petty, for example, Refugee, you know, they tried 50 different guitars to try and get that intro, you know. There's just that's just one song on my mind, bro, where, and Brad's told you, you know, that he's tracked and tracked and tracked, you know, and, you know, and it's like, play it again. And Brad's saying, okay, and he's playing it again and playing it again. And so, you know, Philip, again, he's talking about that. So great insight into that sort of creative aspect of music. And I'm going to back up what Alan said here about Backstabber too. You know, it is an indictment on the music industry. And again, Philip hinted at that too, didn't he? When he was talking about music producers, about, you know, going somewhere as Philip Sayce as opposed to Philip Sayce the producer, and how many doors that can open up, you know. So clearly now you're going to assume as Philip develops, he's going to open up a lot more doors now because he's producing 2 good albums, bro. You know what I mean? As well as being a singer and a songwriter and a guitar player. And what I like about these songs, when people talk about their experiences with the music industry, they just make slight little changes, bro, in their lives to shield them from the toxicity that is industry. You know, we all experience it in our own industries where we're working, but, you know, obviously the music industry has a legacy of and a pile of people that have just been chucked on a pile. But clearly with Philip, he's shielded himself a little bit, bro, where he can sort of turn away, keep himself fresh, keep himself focused. And I think one of the reasons why he's doing that is because he's in control totally of that creative process that you and him spoke about at the beginning of the interview. So this song, again, points to that. You know, and when we get him on, you know, later on, we could, you know, we could chuck that at him. You know, we could be asking the questions that Rolling Stone used to ask 30 years ago of artists, but they don't ask anymore.
Yeah. I agree. You know, oh, you're still ranking. You haven't given your ranking yet, Andrew.
No. Well, that's it. You know, because of the message, you know, originally I gave this 8 out of 10, but after hearing what Philip had to say, bro, I've given it 9.5 out of 10 because I think this is something about what Philip is. As you know, there's something going on with this track for Philip.
Yeah, without a doubt. Andrew, I took a massive comfort in talking to Philip about when he was talking about tracking guitar solos. You know, I took a massive comfort in that because I thought it was just me. I track 1,000,000 takes and still not happy. Yeah, it's that the whole thing.
Well, didn't he say that he'll track from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the, you know, he'd track like 8 hours?
And drive everyone crazy, yeah. But I'd be doing the same. I still do the same. In my last EP, I recorded differently to anything I've ever done, and I found myself going down rabbit holes for half a day or a day, and going back and listening to my very first take and going, geez, that was way better than the last one I did. But anyway, I took a lot of comfort in hearing him talk about that, and at someone at his level still does that. It's amazing to hear that stuff, but I'm so glad whatever he's decided to put on this record as a keeper, he's obviously felt within his heart that that's the right thing to put out. So I'm glad he's put these things out, Andrew, because there's just some phenomenal playing. And like I explained to him, some of the playing on this record is some of the best I've ever heard him do on a record. It's outstanding. Without deviating anymore, without further ado, we'll get to the second last track of the album, Andrew, and it's a beautiful instrumental with a real mysterious vibe, intuition. And I sort of listened to this song quite a bit and really try to, because it's an instrumental, Andrew, you try and put a topic in mind, and the title, obviously, Intuition. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a bit of research here. And I looked up a couple of things, and I did find something here where he talks about this song. And I'm going to give my ranking, but I'm going to read this out a little bit too, Andrew, just because I think he's worded it so well. I can't really sort of it explains the whole song perfectly. But for me, this is what I'm saying first. Beautiful instrumental with a mysterious vibe. Love the slow, laid back approach. Beautiful guitar melody line. It's very moving. That glassy rolled back volume with the fuzz left on tone that we were talking about, Andrew, with the fuzz pedal in the interview there. I love that tone. It's like, it's so glassy. It's phenomenal. Love the keyboard vibe. The drums are big sounding. The solo builds wonderfully and ends exploding into a blistering attack with that phasing, the way the production on the song, the way it phases and does all that stuff. I gave it 10 out of 10, but I just want to quickly read this, Andrew, before you give your ranking, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure.
This is, I've found an interview, or I've actually found him talk song for song a little bit about each song, and I'm happy to share the link with you after it, Andrew, and you can probably push it as a link if you want. It's up to you. The song Intuition, he's described each song, and this one here he's gone on the album actually, and this one he's gone, the emotion behind this song was all about my journey around learning to trust my intuition. This was a very emotional song to record. The outro guitar solo was tracked live. Phenomenal, unbelievable, and was the first guitar solo I played in the studio coming out of the pandemic lockdown. I was holding all this pent up energy, anxiety, and intensity, and I laid it all out in that outro solo. It was very healing for me. Then the sudden stop at the end of the song represents the fragility of this world and life, and COVID pandemic really brought that front and center for me. I didn't know if there would be an opportunity to perform live again when this was recorded, so I gave it everything I had. And wow, that I can't really sort of say any more than that, Andrew. That sounds like he's giving everything he's got in this song. So for that reason and that reason alone, 10 out of 10 and never a skip. Andrew.
Yeah, thanks for that, bro. I wasn't aware of that. And I'm going to pinch a couple of comments here that Hugh has made. I like the harmonics at the start, the harmonics of the intro, and the solo is just fantastic. The intro solo is incredible, and it's so not like Philip. When I first heard this intro, it was just this number. I'm going, wow. It blew me away. So I had to go and make sure, that wasn't someone else guesting. It wasn't Mark Knopfler, or or some, because it's so unlike, and it was a real surprise. Yeah. I just think it's a beautiful track. I think it's fantastic. It's a killer track. And again, I have to take my hat off to Phil the way that he's programmed this. I think the first time I listened to it, bro, I think I listened to it at least a couple of times on Spotify. I just had to go back and go, oh yeah, wow. One of my favorite tracks, bro.
Yeah.
One of my favorite tracks. I've given this a Brad score.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, Andrew, I've sent you a DM on Instagram with the press release I found. And,
thank you, bro.
Feel free to share that one. But obviously, I didn't read any of this while I did my rankings. By the way, I tried to do my rankings as like my take on everything. But obviously, reading some of the stuff that he's put in here, it's really eye opening, and it does put a new perspective on the songs as well. So I think it's important for everyone to go and read it, Andrew, if you get a chance to share that somewhere along the way.
I will. I'll attach that to this video. If you're watching on replay, folks, I'll edit this and I'll attach that. So thank you, bro.
Yeah. Look, before we get to the last track, I formed a friendship with Philip through social media, and then obviously through the Together platform that he occasionally performs on over there. And one of the songs that he used to do quite frequently on there was This Is Hip, with him with an electric guitar and just vocals, and he'd sing there and he'd perform this song. And, I have heard the original to this, John Lee Hooker and Ry Cooder's version of it many, many years ago. But was it The Healer, that album? I'm not sure. the John Lee. Anyway, I could be incorrect there, but someone might be able to correct me there. And yeah, I used to on the Together platform thinking his vocal just sounds phenomenal on this track. It's just, from the previous song Intuition, how it cuts off, like we explained why it's done that. And then this song comes in with that acoustic resonator vibe, Andrew, the way he plays that with his vocal is phenomenal. Some great piano playing on it. Philip really plays this acoustic vibe, really well. He did it so well on the Together platform as well, but this sounds like you shut your eyes and it sounds like it could be an old bluesman sitting on a porch singing the blues, jamming with someone on piano and just having fun, and releasing all the tensions of the day and just getting it out there. And I love the vibe of this song, and it's a great last track. I'm glad he included it on here. I think he mentioned on the Together platform that, he was going to put it on, and I was looking for it when I saw it go up on Spotify. I was going, I hope he's put it on there, and he did, and I was really happy with that. So, well done, Philip. Your vocal sounds phenomenal on it. I think he had Fred Mandel join him on piano for this one, and the piano playing on it is stellar as well. So, really, really well done. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, Andrew, and never a skip.
This boy's got the blues, hasn't he?
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. This track here just nails that firmly. Convinced in the convinced category. I just think this track is phenomenal. Brad has given you a good tradition, a good traditional understanding of where the song comes from. Like a lot of us, I'd heard it, not a lot, but was familiar with it.
Yeah.
There was an album, bro, that Buddy Guy did with Junior Wells, I think, called Blue and Alone, or Alone in Blue or something. It's an acoustic album.
Yep.
And it's just fantastic.
Yep.
I can't wait for Philip to do an EP or something. Yes, we want to go and hear Philip play the heck out of his strats and all that, and his PRSs.
Yeah.
But I'd line up, bro, to go and get him playing that acoustic resonator that, again, he was really, really kind enough to mention in the interview with Brad and I. So check that out. He even names the company, Who are they? Who are they, bro?
I think it was Mule Resonators, was it?
Mule Resonators. That's them. Yeah. So, I look, we love it. Just the authenticity that this guy has. So he's crossed all the bases. He's ticked all the boxes, bro, on this album. He's done it all.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So I was saying to you before, so this album starts off and it just goes up and then it comes down.
It's got a total vibe shift, and it works really well. And Andrew, actually, firstly, before I go too far, did you actually give it a ranking?
No, I've given this. It's pretty easy. I've given it a Brad score. I love it. I love this shit. I just I want him to do an album.
Yeah. So I've lost my train of thought now, but yeah, look.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think what's really important for everyone to understand is this is an independent release, and I think it's important, if you really do dig this album, that you go and invest in buying a hard copy of it. Like I just placed my order last week.
Me too.
Financials, I wasn't able to do it when it first released, but I thought, you know what? I've done a few gigs playing covers in the last few weeks, and not that I've got spare money, but I need a copy of this. So I've ordered it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. And I think, you want artists like this to survive and continue making more music. You mentioned, Andrew, you'd love to hear him do an acoustic EP, this and that. I think yes, I want to hear it all. We need to support artists like Philip Sayce. Go to his website. I think Andrew's going to share his website. I think he did on the interview. Go to his website, buy his stuff. It's all I can say. Stream his stuff too. That's fine, but artists don't really get what they deserve when it comes to streaming. I just want to make that quite clear. So go and purchase. If we can encourage, out of 10,000 subscribers, maybe even 2,000 of them to buy a Philip Sayce record, we'll be stoked. We'll be wrapped, and that's all helping feed the beast, so to speak. But I did mention to Philip and Andrew when we were interviewing him earlier today that he's raised the bar yet again, and this is a hard album to follow up. But I'm sure you can do it, Philip. And I don't know what the future holds, whether it's more gigging, another release coming up. I was really excited when he mentioned that he's been recording some more music with his PRS. Andrew also got really excited then. So hopefully the vibe still continues of this record. I love all of his records, but I love the style of this record and the album flow. I love the total energy and passion he's put into this. And obviously there's a big release here post-pandemic. So because I'm sure there would have been a lot of anxiety built up. Being a working musician like he is, Andrew, and not being able to work, a lot of anxiety would have built up and things. So.
Yeah, and he was regularly streaming live in lockdown too, and that's a point that we need to keep in mind too, folks. And Brad has hit the nail on the head. I've ordered a CD copy last week too of it. Didn't get the vinyl copy, but certainly the CD copy because, as you guys know, you can have Spotify, you can buy albums on Apple Music, and it's there today and it's gone tomorrow. Brad pointed it out a couple of weeks ago. If you've got your CD, if you've got your vinyl, no one can take that away from you. So besides supporting the artist financially, you get a sure bet. But I agree with you, bro. I think this is a modern masterpiece of an album. Not a lot of guys can do that. This guy has done it, and the fact that he's in control of where he's going with this. And we look forward to, obviously, keeping you up to date with a lot more of what's happening with Philip in his career here on the channel. We'll do that. We'll have little Philip Sayce updates. It's getting towards summer in North America, so I'm sure he'll be touring a little bit over there, Brad. So we'll be your Philip Sayce venue for news, opinions, and views, bro.
Yeah, why not? Why not? But I think we already do that without even realizing it. I think we're a very good vehicle for Philip here, and I think we're opening up a few avenues for him when it comes to new viewers and new listeners. So hopefully it will encourage people to go and buy his stuff, support the artist, and go watch him perform. I'm extremely jealous of people in the US and in Europe that are being able to go and watch him play. But I'm sure my time will come when I get to go and see Philip Sayce play live, Andrew, and for you as well. I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah, and again, we like to say this, Philip, if you've managed to endure to the 1 hour 33 minute mark, again, we have to say thank you for the music, thank you for this album, and we'll do all that we can, to help promote anything that you do, because the position that you occupy in this field of this great music that we follow is it's a position of responsibility, but also a position that you've earned and worked hard to achieve. And the fact now that Guitar Magazine's calling Philip, bro, a master, one of the greatest exponents, that they stole off you and I, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, they did. But we won't hold grudges.
No. Yeah. You know, I just wish these big shop magazines that watch our channel would actually, you know, credit you and I and the Rock Professor for some of our insights instead of just
100%. Yeah. Well, Andrew, it's been a wonderful ranking of the tracks, a great album, and all strength to Philip. You know, he just keeps releasing absolute crackers. We could talk about him for 8 hours, and it was such a thrill to actually have the opportunity to talk to him about this record. It was great. I encourage you to check out our interview later.
Awesome. And we'll attach all that, folks, to this video. I'm going to say to my co-host, bro, go and enjoy the rest of the weekend because you've been fully consumed. You've spent a lot of time on this channel the last couple of days, so it's always appreciated. You know, today's been a big chunk of your day, I know.
It's all worth it in the end because we love the music, and whatever we can do, that's what we do. You know, Andrew, we do it because we love it, not because we're getting paid for it, because obviously we don't. So.
No.
But
yeah. You're right. You're right, bro. We do it because you know, Brad and I have said this before, and we'll say it again. It's our way of paying this music back because this music supported us, you know, emotionally, you know, through entertainment and through our social situations for as long as we can remember. So it's just paying it back, bro, eh?
Gives a lot of joy to our lives. So, you know, it's nice to be able to do something to pay it back.
Next week, we're going to have Hugh on. He can't wait. I'm going to do a show card. I'm going to go and have dinner. I'll edit this.
Yep.
I'll do a show card. Hugh's going to come on, and we'll have the Rock Professor back. And please don't ask him to talk about his Switzerland trip. No, you know, we've got a guest on. We want to be focused. We want to keep to the point. We don't want to sort of, you know, go down this rabbit hole of.
Oh my Lord.
He's going to kill us, eh? He's going to kill us, eh?
Yeah, well, you know what? While the cat's away, the mice will play.
All right, bro. I'm going to give you the last word, and then we're going to give Philip an opportunity to say the last word, and then we're going to cruise.
Yeah, look, I won't go through everyone individually in the chat, but you know who you are. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the track rankings, everyone. And, you know, to anyone who's watching this, please subscribe. Please check out Philip Sayce. And, yeah, keep music alive, live music alive. Go and see a live band today. You know, go and support the music industry. It needs it. And show it some love. And that's all I'm going to say, bro. And congratulations, Andrew, on a wonderful weekend of, you know, the Wolves are coming weekend, we called it. Bye.
Hey, this is Philip Sayce, and you are watching the 5150 Show with Brad and Andrew. All right.